Welcome to the final installment of Top 10 Most Powerful Techniques in Oblivion. This is Part 5, Unlimited Power. And let's jump into it with number 2, the most powerful weapon in Oblivion. I'm not going to spend too much time dwelling on how to make this thing, because ESO actually already made a video, which I'm going to link in the top right corner right now. He does an excellent job explaining how this works. I couldn't do it better, so I'm just going to direct you to his video, but I will touch on them very quickly. Soul Trap is important because it allows you to recharge the weapon. This weapon feeds itself, and you combine that with Azura Star, and you can just keep this thing going forever, and it mitigates one of the biggest weaknesses of enchanted weapons in this game, and that is the constant need for a fuel source. Shock damage. Let's take a look at this here. So we got 10 points of shock damage, so that's 20 points of shock damage. The amount of damage, not the base damage itself is not super important, as long as it's 5-10 points of damage, whatever. I know that the instinct, and this is my first gut instinct as well, was to make this damage as high as possible. But you can see, even with a full charge, because of all the enchantments down here, you've only got like 22 uses of this before it drains. So if you put this up to its maximum, you get like 1 or 2 shots. So you want to keep the amount of damage low. And then same thing with the duration for the 2 weaknesses, you want to keep those low as well, so that you can get as many uses as possible. So that is the basic setup, and there's just, you have to do it in this particular order, and the durations and stuff. Like I said, ESO goes into it more. I don't want to dwell on it too much. For the base weapon, I did not, it looks like a Daedric dagger. It's actually a bound dagger. That's why it's got 0 weight and 0 value. I figure if it doesn't, the amount of lightning damage you're doing makes it so that the base weapon doesn't matter. So you might as well just use a bound weapon, because the only thing that the base weapon matters for is the weight and the value. And I'm never going to sell this, so I want something that weighs 0. I don't care that it costs 0. I'm never going to sell it, but it weighs 0, and that's the only thing that the base weapon matters for is the weight. You can do things other than daggers, but daggers are the fastest attackers. So it's best to just do it on a dagger. As you can see, very effective. Hold on, let me make sure. I think I might have turned it down. Yeah, see, I'm only on Adept. Let me turn this all the way up to Master. Watch. Doesn't matter. Master difficulty. Took a couple more hits, but it still put her down. ESO called it the greatest weapon in the game, or the best weapon in the game, something like that, which is why I named it that, instead of saying enchanted dagger or, enchanted mace or whatever, because since it's a custom enchantment, you can put it on any weapon. So the best weapon in the game is whatever weapon you put these enchantments on. And there is, of course, a spell variant you can do with this as well, which I do have set up on this character. Where is it? Immolation. Where it's just, with Immolation, with a spell, the fact that you're casting from your mana bar means you don't need Soul Trap on this. So it's only 3 enchantments instead of 4. It's the fire damage, and because you don't have Soul Trap, you can do more damage. Then you do the weakness to fire and the weakness to magic after that. This right here is the most powerful spell in the game, because this can kill anything. I like to use fire. You can do it with lightning, you can do it with ice, doesn't matter. But the problem with this weapon, it's the only drawback for this weapon. Like I said, it requires you can see I only got 5 hits left and it's drained. And yeah, I can go over here, and I got a Grand Soul and Azura Star, and I can charge, boom, ready to go. But now I don't have a Soul and Azura Star. So if I go into these alien ruins, and I find a bunch more of these bandits, which, in this particular ruins, that's what's in there, is a bunch of bandits. Azura Star is not going to hold a soul from a bandit. And so what's going to end up happening is I'm going to run out of fuel for this thing. It's the only drawback of this weapon. Is that because it's an enchantment that's doing all of the damage, and you need souls to fuel the enchantment, eventually you're going to run out of souls, because most of these bandits, in fact, I'd say nearly all of them, they don't have summons. You can soul trap a summon, but they don't have any. So, I mean, the best you could do is summon one of your own summons and kill your own summon to soul trap it. That's the best you can do. I often find myself without any souls to power it. It's something you have to plan ahead for. Do not misunderstand me. I'm not saying that this weapon isn't good. It is excellent. There is a reason that ESO and I call it the greatest, or the best weapon in the game. Look at this. I'm shredding this Minotaur. And he's gone. And now a quick recap before we move on to the final item on our list. Number 10, Monk of the Cloth. Number 9, Weapons Unbound. Number 8, Stealth Archer. Number 7, Full Herbalist. Number 6, Absorb Normal Damage. Number 5, Reflect Damage. Number 4, Spell Absorption. Number 3, Reflect Spells. Number 2, the most powerful weapon in Oblivion. And now, number 1, Chameleon. So, in addition to being exceptionally powerful, Chameleon is exceptionally easy to get up to 100%. The Ring of Lordship is acquired from the main storyline in the Shivering Isles, and it gives you 32%. The Ring of Khajiit is even easier to get because you get it from the Meridia Daedric Shrine quest. So both of these two items have guaranteed locations, and they're not terribly difficult to get. Although this one, there's a quest chain you got to go through to get it. This one, it's just one quest and you're good. This item, I just used a sigil stone that I got that grants 30% with just these 3 items, right? We now have 97% Chameleon. All right, so most of the time, 97. Oh, it's the blades. Okay. I was like, have I been in here? Anyway, most of the time, 97% is adequate. You can wander around functionally invisible. But when you hit that 100%, something interesting happens. See if we can find a character to attack. Here we go. Maybe somebody up here. See how he keeps running into me but doesn't attack? You become invincible. This right here is why I made this the number 1 on the list. Chameleon is insane. And look at this spell. Right? Cost 6. I can sit here and spam this spell, and it does nothing. Look at that, cast it 3 times, already fully recharged by the end of my sentence. This is powerful. Exceptionally powerful. To the point that it kind of makes the game less fun. That's why generally I prefer to not use... I mean, I have the 3% just in case I need a, get out of dodge spell. But generally speaking, 97% is enough for you to just walk in and out of anywhere. It's more than enough for you to do most of the Assassin Guild quests, the Dark Brotherhood. It's more than enough to do all of the Thieves Guild quests. So yeah, Chameleon is, hands down, the most powerful thing in the game because I shouldn't say glitch. Chameleon is the most powerful technique in the game that is as intended. It's not a glitch, it's not an exploit, it's not cheating, it's not hacking. This is how they meant it to work. And it's too good. If you run around with 100% Chameleon, after a while, you're going to get bored with the game. That's why I recommend the Lordship Ring, the Ring of Khajiit, and then another item with a Sigil Stone that gives you Chameleon. Because this way, this 97%, you get most of the advantage. But you're not invulnerably invisible. You don't get that glitch where at 100%, things run towards you, but can't attack you because you're just not there. And so there you have it, my list of the top 10 most powerful techniques in Oblivion. Now, generally speaking, I know I did include one thing that could technically be described as a glitch or an exploit, but for the most part, I tried to avoid glitches and exploits and cheats and that kind of thing. I wanted to try and stick to the true essence of the game. But I know that there's techniques out there like the infinite magic. I think it has something to do with a ring glitch or exploit. Because I feel like that's not a technique. That's just God mode. And as much as Chameleon feels like God mode, infinite mana's probably, I think, higher than that. Because you can make truly absurd spells and just infinitely cast them. But if you guys disagree, if you think I missed anything, please feel free to let me know down in the comments below. And in the meantime, thanks for checking out my channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.